Morning guys. Andito pala ako para gawin ang aking report po. Ang article 1370 plus 1372 po. Article 1370 in interpretation of contract. Nation should be control list of obtained because necessary from the control to determine contract meaning from the language used the contract in the conduct or its the part. Explain. Basahin ko muna yung number 1. S should be parcel in the agriculture land in this not despite that the volume of the pipe. Yung S daw po nagbenta po, tas yung B ay yung ano yun, yung naglaan po yung B, tas binili ni B yung conduct nila para maubos po lahat yun, yung kaya nga po agriculture land. Tas explain po is should be has house including all furniture. Si S daw po nagkambas, sas yung B po bumili ng furniture po. Kasi po kung pag furniture po gagawa po tayo ng mga tools gaya ng mesa po, ganun, tas bangko, yun po. Kaya nga po furniture. Article 1371, contract. In would be necessary, contrary to become sense of ordinary words to construe the under the stipulation is in question. The party is intended the when is the general knowledge that the volume of the real property in always to price necessary the popular area question which is the loss bonus laguna with its height agriculture region. Intention are always to prevail. The intention of the party list always prevail over the word that appear in the instrument of the contract. In judging in the intention, subtrate act the party list in considered Act 1371. Sana po may matutunan kayo sa aking report. Salamat po. God bless you.
Bibigyan ko naman ng paliwanag ang ibig sabihin ng Article 1373 and 1374. Article 1373. If some stipulation of any contract should admit of several meanings, it shall be understood of bearing that important which is most adequate to the vendor if effectual. So, nagkaroon ng misunderstanding sa contract. It regards, let we say, the object. So, paano maging valid yung contract na yun? Kunwari, ang tinutukoy natin ay object. Siyempre, dapat legal siya. May example tayo. S sold to B his racehorse named Tom. Incidentally, there are two horses with the name Tom. However, one of them is amputated. Nagkaroon ng kalituhan. Si S ay marami siyang racehorse. Incidentally, napangalanan niya yung dalawang kabayo na Tom. Pero yung isa ay putol ang paa. Although may pangalan siyang Tom, para maging valid yung contract, ang tinutukoy sa sale na to ay yung racehorse na may name na Tom din hindi pilay. So yun yung interpretation sa contract na to. Article 1374. The various stipulation of a contract shall be interpreted together, attributing to the doubtful one that sense which may result from all of them taken jointly. Dito sa contract na to, ay huwag ka muna mag-assume na, ay ganito yan, nang hindi mo pa nababasa ang ibang parte ng contract. Example natin, si R, ipinaupa niya ang bahay kay E, at sa kontrata, hindi na pwedeng ipaupa ni E ang bahay. Another stipulation, therein contains stated that E should pay 1,000 pesos as additional rent a month. Should he violate this condition, E sublease the house without the consent of R. Kung ang babasahin at uunawain lang natin ay itong pangalawa, ay pwedeng ipaupa ulit ni E ang bahay, which is bawal talaga, at ang naka-indicate na 1,000 pesos ay ibig sabihin ay penalty siya. Sa pag-interpret ng contract, dapat nabasa mo at maayos mong naunawaan.
Let's start in the first article. First is Article 1375. Ang nakapaloob dito ay babasahin ko lang yung mga nakapaloob dito. What is ano ang ibig sabihin ng article na 1375? So, words which may have different signification shall be understood in that which is most in keeping with the nature and object of the contract. Madali na tatagalogin ko para mas maintindihan. Ang mga salitang maaring may magkakaibang kahulugan ay dapat maintindihan ang mas dapat na tandaan ayon sa nature or object ng kontrata. For example, R lease to E, a roof for the purpose of erecting an advertising sign. The contract provides for a termination of lease by E if a building. So, yun nga, the word building, yung word na building yun yung nagamit na contract. So, should be constructed on an adjoining property of such height as to obscure the view of E sign. So, si E nag-lease siya ng one property para mag-construct or mag-advertise ng kanyang sign. Then, this was erected on the roof of an adjoining building sign which obstructed the view of E sign. So, yun na nga. So, what is the main problem in this example? So, babasahin ko ulit yung pinaka main problem, which is this was erected on the roof of an adjoining building sign which obstructed the view of E sign. So, ang sinasabi dito sa article na to, pag yung si E nga, di ba, nag-list siya ng one property of building. Ito hindi naman siya totally building na siguro magpapatayo siya ng billboard or small billboard, mga ganun. Si E kasi gusto niya na yung nabili niyang property is para i-advertise yung kanyang sign or kung ano yung mga nakalagay doon sa sign na yun. Then ngayon naman, merong isang property na nag-join, hindi naman siya nagpatayo ng building, not rather totally the building, guys. Yung building na sinasabi is yung either billboard, ganun, guys. Yung sign kasi nakaloob dito, obstructed the view of E sign. It is also a sign na nagtayo doon sa katabi, I mean not totally the katabi of na kung saan nag-list si E sign. So, may isang property na nag-join ng building sign doon. Then, na obstruct yung view ni sign. Ito namang si E-sign, hindi niya alam na yung kanyang ina-advertise na sign pala is hindi na nakikita or natatakpan na. Kaya nga siya nag-list doon sa property na yon is para i-advertise yung kanyang ginawang sign. So yun, pag ginamit to sa korte, maaring manalo o i-terminate ni E-sign sa korte is maaari siyang manalo kasi meron siyang meron siyang evidence pag terminate niya yun. Pag kunyari na iyan sa korte, ganun. So yun lamang. Next, proceed to Article 1376. The usage of custom of the place shall be borne in mind in the interpretation of the ambiguities of a contract and shall fit the omission of stipulations which are ordinarily established. So, example ito is S sold to be a horse. It was the customs of the place to place horseshoe and sold horses. So, sinasabi nga dito, walang nabanggit na word of contract dito. Hindi gaya dun sa nauna na building, di ba yun yung nagamit natin, yung building sa contract na yun. Ito naman wala. Wala nabanggit na, na word of contract. So, ang mangyayari, yung nagbenta, pwede niyang ilagay na, pwede siya maglagay ng horseshoe or sold horses. Kasi ang ibig sabihin ng Article 1376 is the usage or customs of the place shall be borne in mind in the interpretation. So, maaari rin siya, pwede niyang ilagay na horseshoe or sold horses. Kasi in-interpret niya pa rin yung sinasabi dito na horse. So, yun lang para sa article na 1376. I hope na sana naintindihan nyo yung report ko. So, yun lamang guys. Keep safe and God bless.
Ang topic po natin ngayon is Article 1377 and 1378. Article 1377, the interpretation of obscure word or stipulation in a contract shall not favor the party who calls the obscurity. Ang dahilan para sa panuntunan sa Artikulo 1377 ay ang partido na nagsulat ng kontrata, mas madali kaysa sa iba pa, ay maaaring maiwasan ang mga pagkakamali o kalabuan sa kahulugan ng maingat na pagpili ng mga salita o sa pamagitan ng paggamit ng kaunting pag-aalaga. At sa pangkalahatan, ang partido na nagdudulot ng kadiliman ay kumikilos ng may pangunahing motibo. Article 1377 is not applicable where the evident intention of the parties can be readily discerned by their contemporaneous and subsequent acts, and there is no indication that the party who prepared the contract took unfair advantage of the other party who freely assented to it, which is written entirely in a language spoken and understood by both parties. Article 1378. When it is absolutely impossible to settle DAB by the rule established in the preceding articles, and the DAB refer to incidental circumstance of a gratuitous contract and lease, transmission of rights and interest shall prevail. If the contract is one rus, the DAB shall be settled in favor of greatest reciprocity of interest. If the DAB are cast upon the principal object of the contract in such a way that is not be known what may have been the intention or will of the parties, the contract shall be null and void. Article 1378. Kung ganap na imposibleng malutas ang mga pagdududa sa pamamagitan ng mga patakaran na naitaguyod sa naunang mga artikulo at mga pag-aalinlangan, ay tumutukoy sa hindi sinasadyang mga pangyayari sa isang walang bayad na kontrata. Ang pinakamaliit na paghahatid ng mga karapatan at interes ay mananaig.
Pag-aaralan natin ngayon ay ang Article 1379 at 1380 ng Obligations and Contracts. So ano nga ba ang Article 1379? Ang Article 1379 ay the principles of interpretation stated in Rule 123 of the Rule of the Court shall likewise be observed in the construction of contracts. So, bibigay tayo ng example na kung saan si A is isang businessman na kung saan gusto niyang bilhin ng palayan ni B upang pagtayo ng kanyang commercial building. At nagbigay si A ng isang written contract kay B. Ngunit, hindi marunong magbasa at magsulat si B. So, anong gagawin ni A ngayon? Pwede niyang i-interpret o explain kay B kung ano man ang nakasulat sa papel upang maintindihan niya ito. So yun lang naman po ang Article 1379. Ito ay tungkol sa interpretation contracts. Dumako naman po tayo sa susunod na article, ang Article 1380. Ang Article 1380 ay tungkol sa defective contracts na kung saan na may 4 na bahagi, ang rescissible, voidable, unenforceable, at void contracts. Ano nga ba ang Article 1380? Ang Article 1380 ay contracts validly agreed upon may be rescinded in the cases established by law. Ano ba ang rescissible? Ito ay ang valid agreed upon, pero binigyan ng remedy ang isang party dahil may economic injury or damage to the third person. So, ang talagang purpose nito ay to secure the reparation of the damage caused by valid contracts, especially if the enforcement will injustice.
Magandang araw, ako nga pala si Jane Pagatwatan ng inyong reporter para sa Article 1381 at 1382. Una, meron tayong Article 1381. Sa 1381, narito yung mga kontrata na maaaring ikansila. Ngunit para mas madaling maintindihan ay narito ang maikling paliwanag. Una, ano muna ang ward? Ang ward ay isang taong nasa pangangalaga sa kadahilanan na wala itong kakayahan. So, ano nga ba ang nasa Article 1381? Ang mga kontrata na ipinasok sa ngalan ng ward bilang isang patakaran, ang mga kapangyarihan ng tagapangalaga tungkol sa pag-aari ng ward ay limitado sa mga gawaing administrasyon lamang. Dapat itong isinasangguni sa korte o dapat aprubahan ng korte. Next, we have Article 1382. Payments made in the state of insolvency for obligations to those fulfillment the debtor could not be compelled at the time they were effected are also rescissible. And there are 2 conditions that must for the article to be applicable. First, the debtor must be in a state of insolvency and insolvency did not be judicially declared. Second, the payment exacted from him is for a debt not yet due and demandable. Para sa mas maikling paliwanag, yung mga kabayarang ginawa sa kadahilanan ng karukhaan para sa mga obligasyon na kung saan ang pagtupad ng may pagkakautang ay hindi na mapipilit doon sa panahon na sila ay apektado ay dapat nang ikansila. Yun lamang po at maraming salamat.
So hello guys, I'm here to report on Article 1383 and 1384. 1383. So Article 1383, the action of decision is subsidiary. It cannot be instituted except when the party suffering damage has no other legal means to obtain reparation for the same. So it says here, ito ay hindi pwedeng maisakatuparan maliban kung ang partido na nagdusa ng danyos ay walang ibang legal na paraan para makamit ang reparation sa pagpapawalang bisa. So Article 1383 is an action to rescind unrescissible. It's just a subsidiary, which means it cannot be instituted except when the party suffering damage has an reputation for the damage suffered. Therefore, it is necessary for the plaintiff to have exhausted all other legal means to obtain reparation. Otherwise, action will not prosper. Article 1384. Restriction shall be only the extent necessary to cover the damage caused. The only purpose of restriction is to repair or to cover the damage caused.
Bago natin talakayin ng 1385 and 86, basahin muna natin ang definition of terms. Lesion: a wound, injury suffered by a person who did not receive his rightful share. Rescission: invalidation of a contract for reason provided in Article 1381 and Article 1382 of the Civil Code, such as contracts in feud of creditors. Rescind: to cancel or repeal. A ward is a person under guardianship by reason of some incapacity. Article 1385. Rescission creates the obligation to return the things which were the object of the contract, together with their fruits, and the price with its interest. Consequently, can be carried out only when he who demand rescission can return whatever he may be obliged to restore. Yung plaintiff o complainant o yung nagdemand ng rescission, dapat he return whatever he may be obliged to restore, together with the fruits at pati na rin yung interest kung meron man. Pero may exemption. Neither shall rescission take place when the things which are the object of the contract are legally in the possession of third person who did not act in bad faith. Sinasabi dito na kapag yung bagay na nasa contract ay nasa legal position of third person who did not act in bad faith, meaning nasa good faith siya, hindi mo na makukuha yung bagay na yun sa third person. In this case, indemnity for damages may be demanded from the person causing loss. Article 1386. Rescission referred to in numbers 1 and 2 of Article 1381 shall not take place with respect to contract approved by the court. Natin yung nasa Article 1381. Those which are entered into by guardians, whenever the wards whom they represent suffer lesion by more than 1/4 of the value of the things which are the object thereof, those agreed upon in representation of absentees, if the latter suffered the lesion stated in the preceding numbers. Kapag daw ganun, at yung contract naman ay approved by the court at may judicial approval, hindi na raw pwedeng ma-rescind, hindi na magiging or matatransfer ang case sa rescission.
Good day everyone, I'm Jamaica Mago. Proceed na po tayo agad sa Article 1387. To all contract by virtue of which the debtor. In Tagalogin ko na lang po, ang lahat ng mga kontrata sa pamamagitan kung saan may utang na dayuhan ay isang test na pag-aari. Sa pamamagitan ng walang bayad na pamagat ay ipinapalagay na papasok sa pandaraya ng mga nagpapautang ang tagapagbigay ay walang reserbang sapat na pag-aari upang bayaran ang lahat ng mga debits na kinontrata bago ang donasyon. Sa pagpapalitan sa pamamagitan ng mabibigat na pamagat ay ipapalagay din sa panlinglang kapag ginawa ng tao ulit sa kanino ang ilang paghuhusga ay sa anumang pagkakataon o ilang pagsulat ng pagkakabit ay maibigay na ang desisyon o ang kalakip ay hindi sumasangguni at hindi sapat kumuha ng partido para sumangguni. And in addition to this presumption, the design to creditor may be proved in any others manner recognized by the law of evidence. In Tagalog po, basahin ko po ulit, bilang karagdagan ng mga pagpapalagay na ito ng disenyo upang paglinlang ng mga nagpapautang maaaring patunayan sa anumang paraan na kinikilala ang batas. sa proceed na po tayo sa article 1388. Acquired in bad faith the things ang sino mang nakakuha sa masamang pananampalataya sa mga iyan, ang pandaraya ng mga nagpapautang ay nagpapasahod ng matagal. Para madanas nila ito ng anumang dahilan, ito ay maaaring maging imposible. Kung mayroong dalawa o higit pang alyentasyon, ay unang kinukuha, managot muna at pagkatapos sunod-sunod. Sa article 1389 po, the action to claim rescission must be within 4 years for person under guardianship, and for absentes, the period of 4 years is not begin until the termination of the former's incapacity or until the letter in now. In Tagalog po, ang aksyon upang maangkin ang muling pagkamit maaaring gawin sa loob ng 4 na taon. At para naman malaman ang taong nasa ilalim na 40 taon ay hindi dapat magsimula hanggang sa wakasan at hanggang malaman ang tirahan nila. Ayun lamang po, maraming salamat.